Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I am going to tell you the story of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. Nabda, let's begin. Sulaiman was a very powerful prophet, and many wondrous stories are told about him. He could understand the speech of animals, even of the lowly ant. But despite his worldly powers, he never forgot Allah. He was grateful to Allah for all his gifts, and he always tried to serve Allah. Sulaiman had jinn and birds serving in his army as well as men. They were all kept in order in ranks, and Sulaiman demanded strict discipline among them. That is why he was very upset one day to find out that one bird, the hoopoe, was absent without his consent. However, the hoopoe soon appeared to explain his absence. He had been scouting for Suleiman in areas where Suleiman had not yet scouted. He brought with him an account of the kingdom Seba. The hoopoe reported that the kingdom of Seba was ruled by a rich and powerful queen. She and her people worshipped the sun and other idols instead of Allah. To test the truth of the hoopoe's story, Suleiman sent a letter to the queen, greeting her and requesting her to submit to Allah. The queen consulted with her ministers. They informed her that the country had the strength to wage a war, but they entrusted her the decision of whether to use her armies or seek a peaceful settlement. The queen was reluctant to expose her country to the destructive and waste that would accompany a war. Instead, she decided to try to please Suleiman by sending him expensive gifts. Her chiefs and ministers agreed with her decision. When the messengers of the queen delivered the queen's gift to Suleiman, he rejected the gifts. He said that the gifts which he had received from Allah were infinitely better than those which she had sent. He sent the messengers back with the gifts and a message to the queen that she had better submit or he would send armies which would thoroughly destroy the Sabaeans and their country. While Suleiman was awaiting the arrival of the queen, when she would come to him in submission, he desired that her throne be brought to him. A very strong jinn offered to bring it within a matter of moments. One who had knowledge of the book said he could bring it in the twinkling of an eye. When the throne had been placed before him, Suleiman praised Allah and gave thanks to Allah. Suleiman did not desire the conquest of the queen of Saba to enhance his personal power. He desired that her throne be transformed from a seat of no faith to a seat of faith in Allah, that she would lead her people in submission to Allah, not to Suleiman. Suleiman had the queen's throne disguised in order to test whether she would accept it in its changed condition. When she arrived, she was asked whether it was her own throne. She confirmed that it was something like it and that she had been informed by Allah in advance of such a change. When the queen was asked to enter the palace, she tucked up her skirt because she thought she had to pass through a pool of water. Suleiman, not wishing to humiliate the queen, informed her that what she had mistaken for water was actually smooth slabs of glass which paved the courtyard. The queen Bilqis acknowledged her misperception and submitted in Islam with Sulaiman to Allah, the Lord of the world. When she returned to Saba, she realized that the sun was not Allah and only one of his creations. She then repented, gave up worshipping the sun, and requested her people to do the same. Sulaiman alayhi salam lived amongst glory and all creatures obeyed him. One day, the Prophet was sitting holding his staff, overseeing the jinn working on the mine. The Prophet died sitting in that very position. For a long time, no one was aware of his death, as he was sitting erect. The jinn kept on working on the mine as they thought the Prophet was overseeing them. They continued to work on the mine for days, and after a hungry ant began nibbling on the staff of Sulaiman alayhi salam. The ant continued to nibble on the bottom part of his staff. It nibbled and nibbled until his staff fell down, and when his staff fell down, his body was no longer supported and his body fell down. So the moral of the story is only Allah knows the unseen, and we should always believe in al-qadr, the good of it and the bad of it. Even the jinn who were working there did not notice that Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam was dead until they saw that his body fall. If Allah makes you wealthy or prospers you, that you should be humble and not arrogant. You should appreciate whatever Allah gives you. I hope this video was beneficial for you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.